Hi, my name is Megan Parry, and I'm the teacher advisor to the St. Michael's University School Debate Club. And we're actually really excited to be doing an international virtual debate with you guys. We like to get together once every 2 weeks, usually, after school. We've got pizza here tonight, and we've got a bunch of enthusiastic young people who will be debating about whether 16-year-olds should be emancipated or not. So I can't tell you what the answer is, but I know it's going to be an exciting and thought-provoking debate.
I'm being the judge and chair of this debate, which is regarding the topic of emancipation and when kids get to do that. Anyway, I can't give you the answer, just like Ms. Terry said, but we'll see tonight. I came in without doing much research, you know, just having my own opinions in there. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible and leave it to the debate people.
Emancipation is divorcing themselves from the command of their parents, legally becoming an adult. Also emphasizing that it's have the right to be emancipated and not should be emancipated.
16-year-olds are not fully developed yet, and so sometimes they can make rash decisions that lead to consequences that they do not understand the effects of, or include children over the age of 16 should not have the right to emancipate.
Under special circumstances, children can emancipate themselves anyway. Why not let people of the age of 16 know that they have the option?
I've always been really fascinated by debate. It's always been one of my passions, and I believe that having the opportunity to speak in front of people, and especially when presenting your ideas and sharing your opinions about about debate topics, it really gives a sense of motivation, and I become really happy when debating. In middle school, I started my own debate club, and I believe that since then I have been more of a leader and have been able to express my ideas more clearly. And since coming to SMU, I have further expanded my knowledge about debate, and it has really helped.
Teenagers, not only is like from 16 to 18, hormones are jumping all over the place, making teenagers, teenagers are known as angry sometimes and perhaps a little biting. So I'd like to say that teenagers can make rash decisions sometimes and don't have the necessary maturity to realize think through decisions like a big one like emancipation and having the right to represent yourself in court, because that's one of the rights you get when you are emancipated. In conclusion, this point must fall, and our team is right.
Hi, I'm Arjun, part of Debate Club here at SMU, and what I like about debate is that it's taught me how to think logically, and that's helped me argue with my parents better and win more arguments. Thank you.
A bit of rebuttal. So the government does acknowledge that 18-year-olds are more mature than 16-year-olds on average, but the government does not think that freedom should be based on maturity. There are obviously people...
I was thinking that actually an emancipated youth would have to find their own income in the world, because they would no longer be part of their family and they would not have the financial income from their parents. So they would have to basically get a job, which would also mean that they would need to find a lot of free time, which would most likely be used by dropping out of school. You know, I think it's fair to say that all of us believe it's not a good idea to drop out of school, but if we're letting people emancipate themselves at 16, we're basically telling them, well, you have to drop out of school to basically live. I mean, it just doesn't seem...
So I like debate because it helps build a skill, which I often don't get to use a lot. I usually get really nervous when talking in front of people, but I found that debate helps build up the skill of being able to talk in front of people, which is really useful in life.
I'd like to ask the government, at what point in time do you think that a youth would be able to pay off their debt from getting loans from the bank to, you know, essentially cover a full time's salary of loans? That's my question.
Loans from the government, not from the bank, because the government charges lower interest rates to emancipated under 18-year-olds. We're not saying changes. Finally, you will have 3 minutes to speak. I will knock once at 1 minute, and twice at 30 seconds. But to begin my final speech, I would like to summarize the main points in a simple sentence. 1, freedom. 2, for the opposition, children are dumb.
When questioned about how children can't continue with their education, their solution was stopping education for 5 years to get a full-time job, then pay for the rest as a loan. This is incredulous and just shows the government team's carelessness when it comes to the lives of these children. And because we as opposition care for their safety and stability and health, we advocate for not letting children get early emancipation. Thank you.
So I was in grade 6 when I first started debating, and back then I was a very shy kid, so debating in front of an audience was like the scariest possible concept to me, but my parents pushed me into it and I was actually really glad.
So with debate, one of the key parts is how you make arguments, how you be persuasive, and with that there's 3 ways of doing it. The first is logos, and logos means logic in Greek, and logos arguments are sort of your bread and butter of debates. So they are what is reasonable, using facts. The second one is pathos. Pathos is the use of emotion and heart in debate, and I will say it is, you may win a debate on facts alone, but how you make sure that it stays in the hearts and in the minds of the people listening to the debate is through pathos. Ethos is different in that it's about credibility, so you can debate without ethos, but you can't debate well. In order to gain credibility, there are several things that you can do. Relying on factual support,